If you have ever felt emotions that you can't explain, reactions that come from a place deeper than logic, there is a reason for that. Your sun sign might describe your personality, your ego, but your moon sign, it reveals the deeper, more private part of yourself. It describes your emotional needs, your subconscious patterns, your relationship to your mother, your instincts. It tells us what makes you feel safest and what triggers your inner wounds. Your moon sign is the way that your heart speaks to you before your mind has time to filter it out. In this video, we are going deep. If you know me here on social media, you know that I don't like to just skim the surface with astrology. I really don't. I like to go to the depths of it and even have an emotional reaction from the insight that I'm learning, and that's what I want to provide to you. In this video, you are going to learn about the emotional needs of your moon sign, what makes you feel safe, what makes you feel secure, about your subconscious patterns, how you were shaped in childhood, but most importantly, how to heal, grow, and step into your highest self using this insight. I promise you by the end of this video, you will have a completely new understanding of yourself. I know I did. So let's get into it. Here is what you need to know about every single moon sign. Before we dive in really quick, take a second and just drop your moon sign in the chat. I want to know what moon sign you have, and I'll give you guys a little bit of extra insight if you do that. All right, I love you. Let's get into it, starting with the Aries moon. Aries moons don't just feel emotions. They like to conquer them. They like to charge through the emotions. They're almost like a warrior when they feel them coming up. When an Aries moon feels something, it's raw, it's intense, it's unavoidable. They can't just push it down and hide it. Their emotions kind of ignite this spark, and it's hard to ignore. Like, it's bubbling up and they can really feel it, and it's often hard for them to hide how they are feeling. But what does this mean for you? You have the heart of a fighter. You are unstoppable once you put your mind to something. You have this emotional instinct that most people will never understand, and this sense of ambition that no one else possesses. This moon sign has the most ambition compared to all others. It's one of the most instinctual places for the moon. It's like unfiltered fire, because Aries moons are all about instant reactions, impulses, and gut feelings. They move quickly, they move fast. Aries moons don't analyze their feelings at first. They just act on them. They act on how they're feeling, and this is why they're being called impulsive most of the time. They feel first, they act, and they deal with the consequences later. They crave at the deepest part of themselves passion, intensity, and they crave excitement, because without it, they feel trapped, they feel stagnant. Challenges and obstacles for these people, it doesn't scare them. If anything, it powers them through. They get excited when they have something to overcome. They actually get highs off of doing the difficult things in life that other people aren't willing to do. And they create energy for those around them to inspire them to push through emotions as well. They can really be a powerhouse that is so strong, it gives energy to other people as well. They love a good fight, especially if it's for a worthy cause. You will rarely see these people sit and stew over their emotions. They don't really like to do that. If they're angry, they'll tell you. If they love you, they feel it so deeply, and they're probably going to be the first people to say, I love you. Often for Aries moons, sometimes little things can build up and they conquer them, and then they'll get to this point of frustration and everything will explode. They'll release, they'll have a big cry or something, they'll do a workout, and then they just feel like nothing ever happened. They feel like they released that wave. You know, it overcame them, they blew up, and then it's just calm. Their emotions aren't just intense, they're really fast. Because of this, Aries moons are so good at releasing grudges, forgiving people. They rarely hold on to grudges because they just want to move past it. They just don't have the time to dwell in the past like maybe a Cancer moon would. They live in the present, always looking ahead for the next battle. Now, if you have an Aries moon, or you love somebody who has an Aries moon, these are some things to understand. Aries moons love with loyalty, intensity, and total devotion. They're very passionate lovers. But their love is also like a bit of a wildfire. They really need a partner who can handle their fire. Someone who won't get burned by them, someone who tries to dull them down is not going to be good for them. People who are partners with an Aries moon need to give them space to connect to that fire, connect to that anger and frustration sometimes. And Aries moons are often brutally honest. And you know, over time, as a developed Aries moon, you should learn to speak in a way that maybe accommodates the person a little bit, takes their needs and feelings into account, because this directness isn't something everyone can handle. However, if your partner, as an Aries moon, isn't someone who can handle that bluntness, you know, when you're not always in your perfect self era, you know, you make a mistake, you're a little too direct, this is really challenging. You know, you need someone who can handle you being blunt and raw and direct. Aries moons really don't do well with subtlety, manipulation, or passive aggressive behavior. They need someone who is just upfront with them. They don't like lukewarm connections. They want passion. They want someone who makes their heart race, someone who challenges them, someone who keeps them on their toes. And here is the thing, Aries moons are loyal to the core. These are not the people to cheat. They will love fearlessly, unapologetically, and completely. Aries are the people to love all the way in or all the way out, but if you try and dole out their fire, you won't let them express their true selves, they will leave. This is not for them. They don't like to be limited. And then here are some shadow sides of the Aries moon to be aware of and you can work on. Of course, there's underdeveloped and developed sides of every single zodiac sign. I don't want you to take this as me as a Virgo sun, like criticizing you. So here's the shadow side to the Aries moon. You know, their intensity is both a gift and it's also one of their biggest struggles. They can be very impulsive. They act without thinking, and they can also say things that they don't mean in the heat of a moment. Sometimes they need time to take a step back, cool off a little bit before they come back. They can be really harsh because Aries moons don't filter their emotions. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. They're kind of like the little kid being like, hey mommy, why are you fat? They're the little kid that's like, they get really upset about something because maybe they don't want to share the item. They say, I hate you, give me that back. They say their first impulse, their first emotion that they're feeling. If they feel cheated, if they feel wronged, if they think that they don't like you in the moment because you did something to them. As you grow up with an Aries moon, this may dull out a little bit, but you might have been the person who's ready to just like spit out and create beef right away and say how you feel. Aries moons really like instant results. So when they have to wait a long time to get their results, this can cause frustration within them. This is something that is difficult for them to overcome. Patience is a big lesson because they move very fast and they think, oh, if I control this, if I move really quickly, I'll get the results quickly. But that's not always the case. And Aries moons don't like sitting and stewing with their emotions, so they might try and distract themselves with working out, with just working, watching TV shows, trying to like maybe not so much escape, but do something, get in motion so they don't have to sit and stew and be in introspection. An unbalanced Aries moon can be a steamroller, charging ahead without the regard for the emotions of other people. But a healthy Aries moon is a warrior. They're passionate, they're loving, they give this energy to other people, and they are a force to be reckoned with. They are so ambitious and can do anything they put their mind to. So how does an Aries moon evolve? Number one, learning to pause before reacting. Not every single battle needs to be fought. Journaling at first before you go into battle with the person and thinking they're against you. Sometimes patience and silence hold a lot more power than immediate action. Another thing is practicing emotional awareness. When an Aries moon can learn to sit with their emotions sometimes and uncover what they're feeling, that is going to really help them evolve. Number three, balancing passion with empathy. Sometimes these people want to move so fast, but when they're working with another, when they're working with their partner or a team, not everyone moves at the same pace. So having empathy, slowing down, understanding where other people are at, their needs, their wants. Another thing that Aries moons should do to evolve is embracing personal growth. When they go after challenges that actually help them grow and develop themselves, this is going to help the Aries moon really use that raw energy. When you guys master this, you become unstoppable. You breathe life and fire to the people around you, and you're gonna lift everyone up, including yourself. So remember, if you have an Aries moon, you are born to lead, you are born to act, and you are born to feel. Your emotions are a gift, they're not a weakness. It is about learning when to fight, when to listen, when battles are worth your time, when they're not worth your time. Let me know in the comments if you have an Aries moon. I have an Aries moon, so tell me if this resonated with you, what resonated, what didn't, and your experience in this energy. And if you haven't already, like and subscribe and tune in because we have just started scratching the surface in astrology insights. Next, we are moving on to the Taurus moon. All right, Taurus moons. So while the world is stewing in chaos, you guys stay grounded, you stay stable, you stay slow and more methodical with your approach. Taurus moons are rooted, they are unshaken. If you have a Taurus moon, you don't rush into emotions like a wildfire. You don't change with the wind. No, your emotions are more like earth. They are slow, they are steady, they are deep, and they are powerful. Taurus moons don't just feel, they absorb every touch, every scent, anything from the five senses, any comfort that they feel, they internalize it. Pleasure, the music, whatever's in their environment lingers around their soul, and it can be so soothing. But what does this mean for you? Well, you have an emotional foundation like no other. You are so loyal. You are so sensual. You are deeply protective of yourself and the ones that you love. And above all, you crave peace, you crave security, you crave tranquility in your life. You'll do anything to protect that. So Taurus is ruled by Venus, the planet of love, of beauty, of aesthetics. But unlike Libra, that expresses Venus through social charm, Taurus is going to express the Venus planet through the physical world and the physical senses. Taurus moons process their emotions through their senses. You know, touch, taste, smell. They are comforted by touch. They are comforted by familiar scents, familiar music, the nostalgic music, and they don't rush into their feelings. They don't rush into expressing their feelings. They'll let them stew a little bit longer. They take their time to process their emotions because it's deeply rooted inside them. Once they take everything in from the external environment, it is growing roots inside of their body. More than any other moon sign, they crave emotional stability, they crave security, and they need dependability and trust. Change does not come easy. They really hold on to places, they hold on to memories, they hold on to the past, and they hold on to the people they love. It's really hard for a Taurus moon to change and shift, especially their home environment. Your emotions aren't loud and chaotic. They are unwavering, they are sensual. You don't experience those emotional storms. You more experience an emotional landscape. Feelings evolve slowly and they take different shapes and forms over time, like the growth of nature. When you love, you're like a rock. You're a provider. You're a safe space. But you guys do not give love easily. You only give love to the people and the places that you feel loved, that you feel valued, that you feel safe, that you feel like you can be patient and slow and steady in. And you show love through actions, not through words. Cooking, holding someone's hand, remembering their favorite scent, remembering their favorite food, and bringing that to the person. You guys need reliability. You can't have those emotional roller coasters. You need someone who's consistent with emotions. And you guys really crave physical affection and physical touch. You need to have a comfortable space. You need to have a good home space. You need to be touched. You need to be loved, hugged, kissed. You guys don't just love with your heart, you love with your whole body. And you guys usually are slower movers in love. You take more of your time to develop the relationship, but once you commit, you are fully in it. You are committed. You guys don't rush into those loving relationships. But here's the thing about Taurus moons. If you feel betrayed, if you feel unsafe, if you feel like you can't trust the person, you will shut down. You will withdraw, becoming emotionally distant. Not because you don't care about the person, but you need time to rebuild trust. So if someone cheated on you or they lied to you, you will really feel this deeper than most signs. Every placement has a shadow side, a side that they need to show a little more love to work with because there's underdeveloped and developed portions of each zodiac sign. Here are some things to know about the shadow side of the Taurus moon. You guys resist change even when change is necessary. Whether it's a relationship, a job, your living situation, you guys often hold onto it past the expiration date. You guys can become very emotionally stubborn. Once you believe something, it's hard to be convinced otherwise. You guys will seek comfort in the physical when you're feeling unsteady, whether it's food, luxury items, material items, buying a lot of things, overeating. If you guys are not feeling safe, you're feeling unbalanced, you will go into the excess of that. And Taurus moons struggle with emotional flexibility. They need more time to process their emotions, to sit with it, to stew a little bit longer, so they can't just change right away. They are unwilling to evolve, but a healthy Taurus moon, they are pillars of strength. They are so deeply loving and committed. They are the givers of peace and they create tranquility in chaos. So how does a Taurus moon evolve? Learning to embrace change, getting more comfortable with making change. Not all change is bad, you know, some is good for growth, some is necessary, some can actually bring more peace and more tranquility, trusting in the flow of life. And then recognizing when comfort becomes codependency. Security is really important, right? But too much security can create stagnation. You know, we need some element of change and growth. Number 3, balancing material with emotional depth. Indulging in life's experiences is amazing, and Taurus moon should do this, but when it's unbalanced, we can start to escape from our emotions and use material comforts to hide ourselves from what we're really feeling. And number 4, opening up to deeper vulnerability. So Taurus moons like to hold their emotions inside. They can be afraid to share them right away. So taking the time to really trust your partner, sharing more authentically what you're feeling in the moment, and maybe talking through your emotions with them. Allowing yourselves to be heard, seen, felt by your friends, family. When you guys step into your full power, you become the rock, you become the healer, you become a safe place for not only yourselves, but also for other people to lay and rest and share their emotions. You guys are learning that security isn't just about holding on tight to something, but trusting that no matter what comes in life, you will be good, you will be taken care of. Security doesn't come from what you have, where you live. It comes from knowing that you have the strength to face whatever challenge comes up, and Taurus moons really do have this. Let me know in the comments, do you have a Taurus moon? What is your experience with your Taurus moon placement? Did this resonate? And as always, if you want more information, you want to learn more about astrology, you don't want to just go to the surface level, you want to go to the deeper aspect, follow me, subscribe for more. I'm most active on TikTok and Instagram. Let's get into the next moon sign. We are going to work on Gemini moons. If you have a Gemini moon, your emotions are fast, they're unpredictable, they're like the wind going in all these different directions. Like one moment you can be so deeply engaged in an idea, and the next minute you want to go like work out and move your body and go on a run with your best friend. One moment you're restless, the other you're deeply focused. You guys don't just feel emotions, you analyze them, you question them, you look at them logically, and you really want to seek to understand them before you actually allow yourself to feel the emotions. The Gemini moons are thinkers, they are seekers, they are the questioners of the zodiac. Your emotions are tied to your mind. You're constantly moving, constantly evolving. The emotions you feel are not weighing you down. They are fueling you and they are making you think more and more and more. You like to think that you observe your emotions, categorize them, and move on to the next. However, we are going to go into the deeper meaning of the Gemini moon and how you actually process emotions. So the moon is about our inner world, our subconscious needs, the patterns that we have in our mindset, our relationship to the mother figure. But Gemini is an air sign. You guys are ruled by Mercury, planet of curiosity, intellect, communication. So your emotions don't flow like water. They don't explode and feel very intense like a fire sign. When you guys have an emotion, you experience it as a thought before anything. And you process your emotions best by communicating them, by talking them out loud, by writing them down, or just thinking out loud. And restlessness is a constant theme for you guys. You guys are constantly moving, you want variety, stimulation. Emotional stagnancy and having to sit deep into your emotions and introspect is not really what you crave. It's not for you. And you guys can be emotionally detached, not because you don't know how to feel, but because there is this fear of sitting down and getting bogged into the emotions of life, of being slowed down, worrying that things are going to be overwhelming and chaotic once you sit in them. You guys are always hungry for new ideas, hungry for new experiences. You do not dwell on the past. Instead, you look for answers. You look for the next step. You want to solve the problem. And you also look for distractions. When Gemini moons are in love, this is what you need to know for Gemini moons in relationships if you are with one, if you are one yourself. They are curious, they are endlessly engaging, they are entertaining, they are playful, they love communicating, they love talking about how they feel, they love talking about new ideas, but they aren't the type to get drowned out in romantic love stories. They need a fast-moving, intellectually stimulating connection that is constantly changing, that is endlessly interesting. If you cannot hold a conversation that keeps the Gemini moon's mind engaged, they will check out. They will just not be in the moment. They'll take themselves out. They need variety and spontaneity in their relationship. They can't be doing the same boring routine every single day, going to the same date night. They want excitement. They want adventure. They need someone who's going to keep things interesting. If a relationship becomes too emotionally intense, too emotionally heavy, this will really bog them down. They will feel suffocated and restricted. They need their independence. They don't always communicate how they feel directly, not saying like, oh, I love you, directly to the person. They will likely communicate it in witty banter, making jokes. They could even be the people to kind of tease you and show their love that way. It's very indirect. As you can probably tell by now, Gemini moons can struggle with deep emotional intimacy and deep emotional intensity. They are masters of connection and communication, but not of depth. They can talk for hours and hours and hours, but when it comes to vulnerability, that's when things get tricky. Every moon sign has their shadow side. You know, there's underdeveloped moon signs and there's developed ones. So here are some things to note about the Gemini moon and areas to work on. So when emotions get too deep, they can start to overthink. They'll retreat to their mind and overanalyze situations rather than feeling. They'll start to distract themselves. They can also be very emotionally inconsistent. Like one day they're fully present with you, the next they're lost in their own world, pursuing their own path. It can make relationships feel really unstable because you don't know what they're going to do from day to day. Surface level connections for these people feel really safe, but they can also be restless in love. So if their relationship starts to get boring, they might start jumping and looking for the next thing. You know, shiny object syndrome, getting bored, wanting excitement, always chasing the next thing. An underdeveloped Gemini moon is going to be a perpetual seeker, never truly satisfied with where they're at, always chasing something out of reach. But a healthy Gemini moon is highly intelligent, highly adaptable, highly engaging, and so effortlessly fascinating. So here are some tips for how a Gemini moon can step into their highest potential and really maximize this energy in a healthy way. Learning to sit with emotions instead of analyzing them, practicing journaling, and just getting in tune with how they feel. Not everything needs an answer for Gemini moons, sometimes it just needs to be felt. They can also balance stimulation with emotional grounding. Constant movement is great, but their actual fulfillment comes from deep, meaningful connections. Another thing is staying emotionally present. So when they're having a conversation, practicing being in the moment instead of thinking of the next thing. The last thing I want to say is allowing them to be fully seen in the relationship, allowing them to share their innermost feelings and become a bit more vulnerable. When a Gemini moon fully steps into their power, they become an amazing storyteller. They bring lightness and wisdom to those around them and add this element of curiosity that brightens up everyone's day. Fulfillment doesn't come from seeking more for them. It comes from embracing what is already here in the present moment. Final words, if you have a Gemini moon, your emotions are your greatest tool for learning, for expanding, connecting, for feeding your curiosity. And you are here to question, to explore, to understand. But do not forget that sometimes the deepest wisdom isn't found in a book. It's not found in the next adventure. It's often found within yourself. Let me know in the comments, are you a Gemini moon? Did this resonate? Let me know your experience, what was accurate, what wasn't. And as always, if you want to go deeper into astrology, you can book a reading with me, or you can also follow me on other social medias linked down below. Let's move on to the next placement, moon in Cancer. All right, my dear Cancer moons. So some people feel emotions. Cancer moons become emotions. Cancers are the most sensitive moon sign because they are ruled by the moon, and the moon is changing signs every 2.5 days. So these people can be said to be moody, to be overly emotional, and they likely cry a lot if they're connected with their emotions because things are always changing. They're affected by the tides. You embody emotions. You become the emotions you feel, and you carry them deep inside your soul. Your emotions are as vast as the ocean. They shift with the tides. You really feel the world. You feel the energy as soon as you walk in the room. Things don't need to be spoken. You can tell how people are feeling. You are so intuitive. You absorb the energy immediately, and it can be a little bit overwhelming, but it is also such a gift. The moon is at home in Cancer because you're ruled by the moon, so emotions flow for you effortlessly. This is such a feminine sign. When your intuition is heightened, the heart is going to speak a lot louder than your mind. Your intuition is your greatest tool. You guys don't need explanations or words, you just know. Like, there is something about you, you just understand how the person is feeling. You guys are emotionally protective. Cancer moons guard their heart and they guard their loved ones and their home very fiercely. They are fiercely protective. And they are so deeply nostalgic. Memories, childhood nostalgia, childhood friends, their childhood home, their childhood items, their little teddy bear, all of it means so much for them. And if they had to move and uproot from their community at a young age, this really impacted them. If their parents were divorced at a young age, their roots, their home environment needs to be consistent and steady for them to feel safe. And it's very traumatic when they have to end friendships, when they have to move and change, and they feel like their home environment isn't something they can depend on. If you have a Cancer moon, you probably felt like you needed to take care of other people from a very young age. You probably always felt their emotions and absorbed it. You really learned early on how to read other people's emotions and anticipate their needs before they said them as a tool for survival. You became the nurturer, but sometimes you guys forget to nurture your own self. A Cancer moon in love is deeply devoted. They are deeply loving. They can sense their needs of their partner so well. They are nurturing, they are protective, but they need to feel safe before they let someone in. They need emotional security in a relationship. If they don't have that, they're going to withdraw into their shell and feel fear. If they don't think that you're emotionally secure or that you can provide them that security, they won't go for it. They crave deep, intimate relationships. This can't be a surface level connection. They need to have depth. They need to be able to share their emotions with you. They want a love that feels like coming home. They show love through cooking for you, remembering the little things. They are so thoughtful. They are such romantics. And they expect that same level of devotion in return. If you guys aren't thoughtful, if you're not deeply intimate, if you're not giving to the Cancer moon, if you are not cooking for them or taking care of them and making sure their needs are met, they will get frustrated. They will become resentful. If they give you their heart, they need to know that you're going to cherish it and not take it for granted. But here's the thing, because Cancer moons always intuitively know what other people are feeling, they expect others know the same thing, that they have the same intuitive gut feelings as the Cancer moon, but that's not true. So they don't directly ask for what they need. They don't directly ask for comfort. They expect that you'll know their needs. And if you don't, they might retreat, they might feel hurt, but they're not going to tell you about it. They're kind of silent and protective. They will wait for you to notice what's wrong and come to them. Of course, every moon sign has a shadow side. They have things that they can work on to express the energy more healthily. So some shadow sides of the Cancer moon, holding on to the past. So they can really hold on to past wounds and fantasize and look at the past through rose-colored glasses and think it's better than the present moment and get stuck in what happened. They can really carry relationships and heartbreaks long after it ended. They can also become very emotionally defensive. If they're hurt, instead of confronting you, they will withdraw into their shell and they will get very protective. And they can even become passive-aggressive and a bit moody. Cancer moons can also nurture other people to the point of self-sacrifice. They can be so into making sure that you feel at home, making sure you feel cared for and safe and loved, that they neglect their own needs. And that can cause frustration and resentment even. They also struggle with the fear of abandonment. Cancer moons love so deeply, but there's this fear that you aren't as devoted to them as they are to you. The idea of losing someone they care about is probably the most devastating thing they can think about. This impacts them more than anything else because they pour so much love into others. So if that person leaves them, that creates a huge wound within them that they hold on to for a long time. An unbalanced Cancer moon is emotionally unstable, is emotionally withdrawn, stuck in the past, and overwhelmed. But a healthy Cancer moon, they are the nurturers, they are the healers of the zodiac. They are so caring, they are so loving, they are beautiful romantics. They bring light and warmth to the lives of the people that they love. So how to evolve and grow as a Cancer moon, what to step into, what to know. So number one, learning to set emotional boundaries is so important for Cancer moons. Not every emotion is yours to carry, even if you're feeling those emotions. Being more protective of your energy and having time alone to recharge and come back to yourself, see how you're feeling, separating it from what others are experiencing and nurturing yourself. Number two, letting go of the past, really doing shadow work, energy work to release the memories of the past and not stay stuck in them. They can learn that those memories are beautiful, but the most beauty is going to be in the current moment, and they can create more memories. Number three, asking for what they need. Instead of just expecting others to sense those needs, really confronting them and being like, hey, I have this need, this is my boundary, and advocating for themselves. The last thing I want to say is balance giving with receiving. You have the power to nurture people so deeply, but you also need to be open to receiving that back. When a Cancer moon steps into their power, they become the ultimate healer, the ultimate intuitive. They can learn that they don't have to carry the world's pain. They can simply offer their love, their presence, their energy without losing themselves in the process. So if you're a Cancer moon, remember this, your emotions are not a weakness, they are your greatest strength. They are a gift to you. You are here to love, you are here to heal, you are here to nurture yourself and to nurture others. You are here to create a sense of home no matter where you go. If you are a Cancer moon, let me know your experience. Did this resonate? And as always, if you want to go deeper into astrology, you can book a reading with me and we can dive fully into your chart because there is so much more to learn. Don't forget to subscribe and follow me on other social medias. I love you so much. Moving on to Leo moons. Leo moons don't just feel emotions, they perform their emotions. One of my best friends is a Leo moon. I love this energy. Go ahead and comment below if you are a Leo moon, but let's get into understanding this placement deeper. When a Leo moon feels happy, the world feels like a celebration and other people around them also feel this energy. When they are in love, it is a grand passion, it is unforgettable, and everyone can see it. And when they're hurt, you will know. These are not the type of people to have hidden emotions. They're often very readily seen and available. Because Leo moons don't just see emotions, they express them, they embody them with their whole being and their whole heart. This means for you that your emotions are big, they're bold, and they're impossible to ignore. You do not do small feelings, you do not do quiet love. You are here to live boldly and take up space, and that is completely okay. That is what you are meant to do. Leo is ruled by the sun. That is the celestial body that is huge, that is bright. It gives life, it brings fun, it brings romance and enjoyment and childlike play and innocence. So when the moon, what is usually the ruler of our emotions, more dark, more sensitive, is filled by the position of Leo, our emotions become more radiant, more bright, more seen. They become more powerful, more magnetic. Leo moons crave emotional recognition. They don't just want to feel something, they want their emotions to be seen and acknowledged, even celebrated and played with. And they are very naturally expressive people, whether it's through art, whether it's through storytelling, theater, acting, whatever it is, baking, they express their emotions through their craft and through their art endeavors. You want to make a Leo moon feel special. This is the way to their heart. When they feel like they're the only one in your life, when they feel like they are unique, when they feel like you really want to spend one-on-one time with them, that makes them feel special and loved. They want to be valued and admired by the people they care about most. And when a Leo moon loves you, they are generous in their affection and they will love you with gifts. They will have big expressions and displays of admiration. They are so generous. If you have a Leo moon, your emotions are your stage. They are your masterpiece. They are your art form. And the people around you, let me tell you a secret, they feel blessed just to be a part of your world. So what do Leo moons need in a love relationship? A Leo moon is grand. They are romantic. They live loudly. They love loudly. But more than anything, they need to feel wanted. They need to feel valued. They need to feel like you want them there. They crave admiration. They don't just want you to be devoted and committed to them. They want you to express your admiration through gifts, through love, through compliments, through little acts of service, through little acts of caring for you. They want you to almost worship the ground that they walk on. They want you to admire them, be captivated by their presence. Grand gestures, love letters, the proposal on the beach with all the rose petals, creative expressions of love for the Leo moon is what they want. That's what they want in a relationship. It's not about small, like silent gestures. They want big, grand displays of affection. And more than anything, Leo moons need loyalty. Disloyalty, dishonesty will make them close up. They give their whole heart to you and they expect that you give them back the same in return. They want your whole heart as well. Not just your devotion, but your admiration and your love and your loyalty. They want a partner that makes them feel like the most important person in the world, the most important person wherever they go. Because love for them isn't just a feeling. Love is a celebration. Love is a whole event, a whole experience, a whole party. But here's the thing. They can't just have words of affirmation and love. They need expressions, actions, gestures. If they feel ignored, if they feel unappreciated, if they don't feel wanted or valued, this will cause the Leo moon to leave. They will pull away and want to shine somewhere else and they'll seek admiration from other places. So if you notice your Leo moon doing this, they don't feel like you are loving and valuing them enough. So every moon sign has its shadow side, its challenges. So here are some things to be aware of with the Leo moon placement and love a little bit extra and heal. Number one, they can be emotionally dramatic. When they have highs, they are high. And when they have their lows, it's very theatrical. Sometimes their emotions can be so big that they're almost overwhelming to the people around them. And they struggle with being vulnerable in quiet places. Like they can express their emotions very loudly in big groups, but deep down they want to feel strong, confident, and radiant. If they feel like revealing their emotions is going to make them appear weak, they will hide those emotions because they fear that if they express them, they won't be seen, they won't be appreciated, they won't be loved as much. So they'll express the more accepted emotions. And they can be very emotionally demanding. If they feel neglected, they can seek attention in unhealthy ways, putting on huge dramatic displays, anger outbursts, petty things, conflict, grand displays, because they kind of want someone to chase them when underdeveloped. And Leo moons take things personally. When you give them feedback, when you say something like criticism to them, they really take it deeply. They care so much about how you think about them and how you perceive them. An unbalanced Leo moon is going to seek external validation rather than feeling like their inner self and confidence is enough. But a healthy Leo moon, they are generous, they are radiant, they are full of light and full of love, and they are so loyal. So how do the Leo moons evolve? How do they step into their power and their highest self? So number one, learning that their worth is not dependent on external validation. They don't need constant praise to know they are so valuable. Understanding that sometimes love isn't found in grand gestures, but it's actually found in smaller gestures and in silence and in quiet rooms. And letting go of their emotional pride, realizing that vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness. And another thing for Leo moons is giving themselves the validation that they seek from other people. When they go into their inner world and they remind themselves, I am confident, I am loved, I am valued, this is when their light is the strongest because it's coming from within. It's not dependent on how much applause they get from others. That means it's always going to be burning. It's always going to be bright no matter what happens in the external world. When a Leo moon steps into their full power, they are unstoppable, they are radiant, they are confident. These are amazing, amazing people to have in your life. They inspire others to live louder, to live boldly, to be unapologetically themselves, and to bring a little bit of drama, and they really embrace the beauty of life. So if you are a Leo moon, lead with your whole heart, lead with your radiance, lead with confidence, and let me know in the comments if this resonated in your experience. Now we are going to move on to the Virgo moons. A Virgo moon doesn't just feel emotions. They analyze them, they organize them, and they try to make sense of their emotions before feeling them, rather than other moon signs that might dive into feeling without hesitation. They like to stand back. They like to carefully observe what they're experiencing. Every detail, every reaction, every moment, what happened in the situation, what are the things that led up to it. If you have a Virgo moon, your feelings aren't something you want to experience so much. You really want to observe them and understand them. You kind of sort through them to seek clarity, confidence, refinement, almost putting them into this perfect little package before they're delivered. But what does that mean for you? You are highly self-aware, you are very emotionally intelligent and deeply introspective. But sometimes you're your own worst critic. You guys are ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication, intellect, speaking, and this creates a very methodical approach to analyzing emotions, almost wanting to fix a problem and seeing emotions as a problem to overcome. You guys process your emotions through logic. You're not going to act impulsively. You're going to analyze and look at your emotions, maybe even write them out before you allow yourself to tap into the mushy-gushy of it all. You guys notice everything. When someone's voice shifts, when it goes up a notch, when it goes down a notch, when it has a little shake to it, when they move their body in a certain way, when their body language is open, when it's closed, how high their eyebrows are raising, you guys notice and observe every little detail in the moment. And you feel the safest when you are in control of your emotions and in control of the situation. You do not want your emotions to overwhelm and take control of you. You guys can struggle with uncertainty, so when there isn't a clear understanding of what might happen in the future, you could kind of over control your environment. You could try and work on your body, make sure that it is looking a certain way. You could try and control your food, the people around you, your home environment, and do what you can to feel like you have certainty in your life. You guys really believe in doing things right, and you probably have emotional standards for yourself and for the others around you. If you are a Virgo moon, you are measured, you are intentional, and you are deeply thoughtful. You don't get swept up in the chaos. You ground yourself in routine and precision, and you often look for practical solutions. So let's talk about Virgo moons in love. What do they need and how do they love? You guys are devoted, you are reliable, and you are so thoughtful when it comes to your partner. But your love is quiet, it's more subtle, it's not very dramatic and outspoken. And you guys are deeply consistent with how you express love. And it's shown often through actions, less through words. Acts of service might be how you show love, cleaning up after them, doing their laundry, cooking their food, remembering your favorite coffee order, fixing something that was broken like the doorknob, or making sure you have everything ready to go for your day at work without even having to ask. Virgo likes to do this and think about what you need and fulfill those needs for you. They are not drawn to reckless, unstable partners, of course, depending on their whole chart, but they want consistency, they want stability, they want to know that they can depend on you and you can depend on them. They want someone intelligent and emotionally mature. Sometimes they may overthink how they're feeling, so it's difficult for them to express their emotions because they lean on logic. They love analyzing problems and fixing them. They're natural problem solvers and fixers. They will try and advise you with practical solutions to improve your life and refine everything and make things better for you because it comes from a place of love. This is what they do best. They're more logic than they are emotional. Sometimes their love can almost feel like a silent language because rather than these big emotional speeches or saying I love you, they are doing the little things to show that they care. And of course, like every other placement, there is a shadow side to the Virgo moon. So these are things that we can work on to help evolve. Number one, over-analyzing and overthinking about their emotions rather than feeling them. They try and rationalize so then they can control their emotions, even though it doesn't always work that way. Sometimes you just have to feel and lose control and surrender. They will suppress their emotions to try and maintain control if they feel like it's too chaotic, and they are also highly critical. They never feel like they're good enough, so they need to work on their self-worth, feeling like, hey, I am good enough, I am more than enough, because they always have this critique running the back of their head, like these emotional standards of, oh, I should feel this way in this situation, I shouldn't be upset, I shouldn't be mad, I should deal with it in this structured, careful, controlled way. They can also be emotionally distant because they're not super open with their vulnerability. They express their love through actions rather than raw emotions and speeches, so it can come off as detached. When unhealthy, they are stuck in their own head and very rigid and hard on the people they care about and themselves. But when they are healthy, these people are capable of immense growth and they are so deeply intuitive. So here's how to evolve. Things to work on as Virgo moon is accepting imperfections, practicing being present emotionally and feeling into your emotions, maybe using an emotion emotional wheel. Understanding they are worthy of themselves, they are worthy, and they don't have to constantly improve themselves to feel worthy and to feel like they can receive admiration. To let go of that excessive self-criticism. And then allowing for openness, expressing their raw emotions and being vulnerable, going deeper and sharing that with others in a safe space. When they step into their power, they become the quiet strength behind the scenes. They become the healers, the intuitives, the people who provide so much love and service to the ones they care about. They must learn that true emotional mastery isn't about control. True emotional mastery comes from acceptance. Even though your emotions can feel overwhelming, they are actually your greatest strength. You are here to heal and refine, not reach perfection. Let me know if you're a Virgo moon and if this resonated. I love you so, so much. Follow my social medias for more. And if you want to dive deeper into your chart, you can book a reading with me as well. All right, I love you. And let's move on to Libra moons. Imagine walking into a room, okay, and then immediately sensing the energy. Who's happy? Who's upset? Who is going through grief? Who is going through guilt? If you have a Libra moon, this isn't just your occasional experience. This is always on. You are always tapped in and feeling and soaking up the emotions of the people around you. They don't just feel their own emotions, they feel the emotions of everybody. These are the peacemakers, these are the diplomats. They are here to bring harmony and balance in every single situation, and they can see all the different sides. But what happens when they're not balanced? Well, their own inner emotions feel as chaotic as the world around them. This is the journey of a Libra moon, understanding that harmony doesn't just come from helping those around them and creating peace, but also working on their own internal world and bringing harmony to themselves. Once they find harmony within their outer world will not feel as chaotic. Libra is ruled by the planet of Venus, love, beauty, relationships. But unlike Taurus, who experiences Venus in a very physical way, Libra is going to experience Venus when it comes to social charm, when it comes to relationships, through connection, emotional balance, and diplomacy. Libra moons are so deeply intuitive. They understand the energy in the entire room before anyone says a word. They crave peace, balance, and harmony. So when those emotional disruptions show up in their environment, when things are chaotic, they will do every single thing they can to bring back the peace, bring back the harmony. They are incredibly understanding and they can help bring so many people together. They are natural mediators, seeing every single side of the situation. But because they spend so much time balancing the emotions of those around them, they can lose touch with their own, struggling to get in touch with how they really feel inside, struggling with their own emotions. If you have a Libra moon, your emotions are like a dance, always staying near the middle ground. You're in a space where things feel more fair, put together, and beautiful in your emotional world. What do Libra moons need in a relationship to feel secure and feel love? Well, these people are charming, they are romantic, and they are very devotional to their partner. But they also need emotional balance and mutual effort from those they're with. More than any other moon sign, these people feel complete when they are partnered with someone. They crave that deep emotional merging. They need harmony. They can't have relationships with a lot of drama and conflict because this will really traumatize them. They want to keep that emotional peace that they work so hard to maintain. And they show love through compromise. They will adapt to what their partner really wants. They will shift their opinions, shift their actions, and find compromises better than any other moon sign. They will sacrifice just to make sure their loved ones feel understood and they feel happy. They really want balance though, and because of this, they can be a bit inconsistent because they struggle with committing to something, afraid that if they don't have all the options available, they won't be able to create that harmony and create that peace. They always want to weigh every single option before they fully commit. The thing about Libra moons is sometimes they prioritize peace over their own feelings. They will suppress how they truly feel to maintain that comfort and that peace in the outer world. When they do this for too long, they lose sight of who they are. They lose sight of really what makes them happy and what they want. So here's the shadow side. I mean, every moon placement has a bit of a shadow side that we can be aware of. We can bring love and light to and start with some healing to express the natural positives of the energy. So their biggest struggle is losing themselves to please and meet the desires of others. They can become people pleasers, always saying yes or smoothing things over. They may ignore and suppress their emotions and avoid conflict in order to keep peace, trying to pretend everything is fine just so they can avoid conflict at all costs. These people are also often paralyzed from decision making. They want to be able to have all options available, and they fear that they'll make the wrong choice. Sometimes they can also rely on their relationships and the people in their life too much for security, that when they're alone, they feel adrift, they feel insecure, they feel like they can't have stability or cling on to anything. Unsure of their own emotional identity, they can really get lost in the feelings and desires of other people. They feel afraid to rock the boat. A healthy Libra moon is so graceful, so intelligent, so emotionally intelligent, and capable of such deep, authentic love. So how does a Libra moon evolve? What are some things that a Libra moon can put into practice and work on? So learning to embrace their own needs first, really asserting how they feel and making sure they are nurtured and taken care of before they take care of other people. And understanding conflict isn't always bad. Sometimes it's good to have the conversation, to set boundaries, to assert their needs, and be open and honest. Allowing for discomfort to create some sort of change. Next is trusting their emotions without external validation. Sometimes they second guess how they're feeling and they want people to approve of their emotions before they experience them. Is it okay that I'm feeling this way? Instead, learning to trust, hey, I feel this way, it's okay, and that's just how I feel, and I don't need anyone to tell me that it's bad or good. I know that it's okay to feel this way. And then also embracing decisiveness, learning that it's okay to make a choice, even if it ends up being the wrong one, you are still going to be okay, and things are always going to work out. When Libra moons step into their power, they become the great harmonizers. They become the people who show the beauty in the world, help others see the beauty in the world. They become so graceful, so fair. They learn that true balance isn't about avoiding conflict, but staying true to themselves, even in the midst of chaos. So Libra moons, you are really here to bring harmony to the world, but not at the cost of your own soul. I love you so, so much. Let me know if you were a Libra moon and if this resonated, your experience being a Libra moon. And if you want to go deeper, book a reading with me. I'll have that linked below. I love you so, so much, and I'll see you in the next video. We are going to now move on to Scorpio moons. One of the most fascinating placements for me in astrology are Scorpio moons. And no, I'm not one, but I wish I had one in my life. If you're a Scorpio moon, please let me know. So some people simply feel emotions. Scorpio moons become them. The emotions sink into their bones, they twist and they turn and they almost change the fiber of their DNA. Emotions reshape them. It's almost like they're surviving the emotions they experience, they're battling them and they're overcoming them, and their emotions are a motivator and a drive for transformation. Scorpio is the sign of death, rebirth, and transformation. When the moon placement is in Scorpio, it creates a soul who is so deeply intuitive, private, emotional, and fiercely powerful. This is such a powerful moon placement. Having these people in your life is not for the faint of heart, so let's get into it. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, the power of change, transformation, power, intensity, and the unseen. When the moon, like the keeper of the emotions, falls under a Scorpio, it becomes like this hidden world and this untamed power that is waiting to be mastered. Scorpio moons feel everything on a profound level. But unlike a Pisces or a Cancer, they don't wear their emotions on the surface, they hide them. They bury them, they protect them. This one astrologer once told me that a Scorpio moon's emotions are like being locked inside of a treasure chest and then being put at the bottom of the ocean wrapped in chains. Like, it is so hidden and so private, and they don't reveal their emotions to many people. They have to truly, deeply trust you. Although it takes a long time for a Scorpio moon to reveal their true intentions, their true selves, their true emotions, once they do, if you betray their trust, if you are not loyal and you aren't who they thought you were, they will cut you off so quick, and it can be a long time before they open up to anyone else again. They see through lies. You cannot lie to these people. They see through the unspoken emotions. They have this profound intuitive ability. They read people better than they can read themselves, and they experience emotional extremes. There's no mid-level like a Taurus or a Libra. These people have emotional highs, they have crazy lows, they have the intense, raw, passionate emotions. And they are either devoted to the person or completely detached from them. They rarely reveal their emotions. You really have to be someone that they truly trust, and even then, they probably aren't revealing everything they feel. They are making you think that they are, though, and they probably are getting all the emotions and ideas out of you and helping you reveal yourself to them without them sharing who they truly are. Scorpio moons are like tsunamis swirling inside, like hurricanes, big waves, and when they have emotions, they don't just experience them, they transform through their emotions. If they go through heartbreak, if they go through loss, they are using those emotions as a catalyst for growth and shedding old versions of themselves. So these people are intensely loyal and deeply passionate and committed, but they don't fall in love easily because love is not a game for them. It's not a fantasy. Love for them is a deeply altering soul shifting experience, and they don't take love lightly. They're not going to do those shallow, temporary like flings and connections. If they're committed to you, if they're in a relationship with you, you need to be deeply emotional. They want intimacy. They want you like merging with their soul, like spiritual type of love. They want all of you. They want you to be devoted like they are to you. They can't have that shallow surface level off and on. They need to know you are safe, you are loyal, you are trustworthy, because betrayal is something they never ever forgive. They're only going to reveal their emotions to you if they feel like you're worthy. And when they love, they feel so passionate. They love with intensity, but they don't always show that intensity that they're feeling. They can be very possessive and protective as well. They really love you so deeply, and they're protective over you. They can get kind of jealous, they can get possessive, and they expect you to have that same loyalty and that same devotion as they have for you. Here's the thing though, Scorpio moons will sometimes test people. They do this out of a place of love and making sure that you are the right person for them and the relationship is going to work. So because they go through these deep, heavy emotions, they want to make sure that you are going to stay with them through it all. So if they have you in a relationship, they might test and see, can you handle that depth? Can you handle going to the deepest, darkest places? Can you handle such a level of intimacy? Are you trustworthy? Are you loyal? They need to know that you are strong enough to handle their emotions, so when it gets heavy, you're not just gonna run. Because if you just run, they will cut you off. There will be no second chances. So every moon sign has a shadow side. Here are some shadow aspects of the Scorpio moon to work on through shadow work. Number one, struggling with vulnerability. They're probably going to hide their emotions, fearing that they will be betrayed or hurt. Feeling secretive with their emotions, which can lead to these walls being built up and many misunderstandings. They can really hold on to emotional grudges too. They don't forgive easily. They very much hold on to and remember what happened. They will analyze and feel that pain long after the event has passed. And when unbalanced, these people can be very emotionally manipulative and trying to use their power to control and manipulate situations and people in their favor. They can also try and control to avoid being emotionally vulnerable themselves. So an unhealthy Scorpio moon is going to be closed off, possessive, very controlling, afraid of true connection. But a healthy Scorpio moon has this ability to have their soulmate, to deeply connect with people, to have a transformative love, and be capable of deep healing for themselves, but also deeply healing other people too. So how does a Scorpio moon step into their highest power, use this Scorpio energy for their highest timeline? So number one, learning to trust, understanding that there's going to be some pain. You have to practice trusting, and maybe you're going to get hurt along the way, but that's part of the journey, and you'll find the people who you can really trust and who are loyal along the way. Number two, releasing control. You know, strength doesn't come from fear and control. It comes from letting things flow and trusting you have the power to deal with whatever comes up, to let life unfold naturally without fear. And letting go of past pain, realizing that holding on to those grudges, living in the past and not able to move forward, it keeps you bogged down. So practicing forgiveness, practicing moving on. And your true power comes from owning who you are and practicing vulnerability. When a Scorpio moon steps into their power, they become the ultimate emotional alchemist. They can transform pain, grief, loss, love, anything into power. And they can use their experiences to rise from the ashes, overcome it, and become stronger than they were before. Scorpio moons, you need to know that your emotions aren't a weakness. They are a place to draw from for your greatest power. And you can heal and experience love on the deepest level possible. I love you so much. Let me know if you are Scorpio moon and what your experience is. I hope this resonated. Follow me on other social medias for more. And if you want to go deeper, please book a reading with me. I would love to talk to you guys. And now we are going to move on to Sagittarius moons. So some people are born to stay in their home environment. Some people are born to live a slower moving life. Sagittarius is born to explore, to seek, to expand their horizons, to travel, to meet a bunch of different people. If you have this placement, you don't want your emotions to be confined. You want the freedom to run and explore. You want to go on the endless pursuit of truth. You want to adventure, and you want to always be learning. Sagittarius is the sign of the philosopher, the explorer. And when it's in the sign of the moon, you guys are so optimistic. You are wanderers, you are seekers. This energy is restless. It's always looking beyond the horizon. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, the planet of expansion, wisdom. And when our keeper of emotions, our moon sign, is placed in Sagittarius, our emotions become larger than life. They become a thing that everyone can see. They become adventurous. They become a driver for our pursuit of meaning. These people can't be tied down. They need freedom. They need to be able to explore and roam. Sitting for too long makes them feel terrible. They need to be able to use that restless energy and get up and take action. They need to seek new experiences and travel to understand what they're feeling inside. If Sagittarius moons are stuck in a rut in life, they should go travel, they should go on a road trip, they should do something new. And these people are so naturally optimistic. Even when they're going through a dark time, if they see something exciting ahead, they put their focus on that, and they can even bring optimism to those around them. These people are very emotionally independent too, which I don't think a lot of people talk about. They find their own happiness, they find their own truth, they don't rely on others for emotional validation. Your emotions are untamed, they are expansive. You are always seeking, you don't just feel, you want to experience, you want to understand, and you want to grow through every emotion that comes your way. These people need an adventurous, passionate, endless, curious type of love. And they also need freedom and space to explore in their relationships. They do not thrive when the relationship is predictable and stagnant. They need something exciting. They need a partner they can travel with, they can go on new dates with. They need to be spontaneous, to explore, to have excitement. They don't do well with sitting in the motions. They would rather search for a silver lining, they'd rather be optimistic, look for the hidden lesson, and learn from the emotion and move through it. They love people they can connect with on a deep philosophical level and an intellectual level. Talking about the meaning of life, more expansive ideas, this is what lights them up. And they need a partner who trusts them. They can't have someone super clingy. They need someone who can know that, hey, anywhere you are, we can trust each other, we have loyalty. Their partner needs to understand that having freedom in a relationship doesn't mean a lack of love. But here's the thing. These people can run from emotional intensity because they fear being trapped in it and bogged down and losing their sense of adventure. When they feel this happening, they will disappear, they will detach, and you won't hear from them again probably. They'll convince themselves it's time to move on. So every moon sign has a shadow side that they can learn from and experience and grow through so they can evolve. Here is the shadow side of Sag moons. So these people avoid emotional depth. They would rather have the fun, light, exciting energy, optimism. They're more comfortable in those lighter emotions. Deep emotional experiences feel too heavy for them. They can also be very emotionally inconsistent. One day they're down in the depths and then the next day they're chasing another adventure. They can also really struggle with commitment, not only in relationships but also to goals, committing to adventures, to plans for the next couple months. That's why they like this spontaneity, because it's hard for them to see themselves committing to one idea and one path. These people can also be brutally honest. They're truth seekers and they think that other people want the truth too, and sometimes it can hurt people's feelings if they don't put it through a bit of a filter. The shadow side of these people, they're very restless, detached, always looking for something better, the new, more exciting thing, instead of appreciating the present. But a healthy Sagittarius moon, these are the visionaries, the explorers, the teachers. They bring optimism to their community and whoever's around them. So how does the Sagittarius moon evolve? How do they step into the most authentic, highest power of this moon placement? How do they embrace this energy in a healthy way? So number one, learning to embrace emotional depth. Not everything can be laughed off. Not everything can be turned into an adventure. Sometimes emotions just need to be felt. Number two, balancing emotional freedom with emotional presence. So being able to be present emotionally for the people around them and with themselves, rather than just only seeking freedom and getting scared when things are a little bit heavy. Number three, developing patience and emotional consistency. Not everything needs to be exciting all the time. Sometimes there's seasons of life that are going to be a little more heavy, a little lighter, and to try and escape emotions by chasing the next adventure, it can be harmful for them in the long term. A lot of meaningful experiences will come for you during stillness. And number four, honesty is your superpower. You guys are the truth seekers, and learning to develop a way to share that truth and honesty with people that they can receive and they're not very offended by. When you step into your power, you are going to become incredible leaders, inspirations, and you remind others that life is meant to be explored. You learn that freedom isn't about escaping, it's about growing, expanding, traveling, and embracing life in all its complexity. If you are a Sagittarius moon, you are here to learn, explore, and seek truth. Please let me know your experience as a Sag moon, and if you want to understand your chart a bit deeper than just your moon sign, you can book a reading with me too, and we can understand more about your life purpose, your love life, and everything. I love you so much. Subscribe if you want to learn more about astrology, and we are going to move on to Capricorn moons. All right, my dear Capricorn moons, this is one of the hardest placements in astrology, period. But once you master it, it becomes such a strength. I have someone very close and near and dear to me with the Capricorn moon. Some people wear their emotions on their sleeve. Others, aka Capricorn moon, They keep their emotions behind a brick wall. They keep their emotions buried in the dirt. They keep their emotions in the deepest parts of the earth. They will guard it like a fortress or like a temple and protect it at all costs. Capricorn is a sign of discipline, of action, of responsibility. And when the moon is in the sign of Capricorn, it builds someone very strong-willed, very wise, very controlled, and deeply intelligent. These people don't have time to waste away in the chaos of life. They are here to build structured, disciplined routines and build an empire and get to their goals. They are here to have things to build and achieve the goals that they set in life. They are here to create legacies. They don't have time to be in the chaos. But what happens when our emotions can't be controlled? When the heart craves something deeper than just achievement and recognition? This is the journey of the Capricorn moon, understanding that suppressing our emotions isn't going to lead to fulfillment. It's about allowing yourself to feel your emotions and not seeing them as a weakness. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, the planet of structure, of discipline, of life's hard lessons. So this is why you feel like you need to have structure and control and discipline when it comes to your emotions. You don't want all of these messy things bouncing around the wall. You want to contain them. Capricorn moons don't trust their emotions easily. They really process everything internally, rarely sharing how they feel with other people. They don't like to show weakness. They were taught that they need to be strong and to hide this aspect of themselves. They are highly self-sufficient. At a young age, they learn that leaning on other people, depending on others, puts them at risk. So they became their own source of stability and they built this up within themselves, like a fortress. Other moon signs might cry, might lash out, might vent, but Capricorn moons, they will bear the weight of any emotion without revealing themselves, no matter how painful it is. They refuse letting their emotions control them. They don't want to be controlled by their emotional impulses and urges. They don't want to act impulsive. If anything, they'll probably feel very embarrassed if this happens. These people are driven by achievement. They find emotional security in knowing that they are reaching success, they are working towards success through responsibility and through knowing they are in control of their own life. If you have a Capricorn moon, your emotions are cautious, they're measured, and they're deeply structured. You don't waste time on emotional indulgence. You focus on what is practical, what's useful, what will move you forward. In love, these people are devoted, they are deeply protective, they are committed, they are loyal. They show love through stability, practicality, and support of their partner. They need a partner who respects their ambition and their desire to work. They want someone who understands that they don't just need love, they need to go after their goals and who understands how important reaching success is for them. Goals and fulfilling their responsibilities is probably just as important as love. They show love through actions. They show love through providing and building a life that protects you and provides for you. They show love not just by saying I love you, but by taking care of you, providing for you, giving back to you, building for you, working for you. They really crave emotional maturity. They don't want someone who is super like raw and very dramatic and who is petty and controlling and chaotic. They want something stable, structured, secure, and built to last. When they're in the relationship, they want to know you're 100% committed, that you're not just going to flake out at any point. It really takes time for them to open up. Once they open up to you, they are fiercely loyal and deeply committed to you. Here's the thing though, Capricorn moons can sometimes prioritize duty and responsibility over love. They might focus so much on building structure and foundation that they forget to spend time with the people they care about. If they're not careful, they might spend so much time building up this life that is very stable and secure and successful, but emotionally unfulfilling. Every moon sign has its challenges, so here are some things to work on with the Capricorn moon energy and just be aware of it. So number one, they struggle to express their emotions openly. They like keeping things private, controlled. They can come off very cold and detached in relationships and become very emotionally distant. They don't like to rely on others, so they're often carry emotional burdens without telling you and try and hide it from you so they don't burden you. They don't want to feel like a burden. They can measure their worth based off their success. How much did they achieve? What were the numbers? How much did they build? How much money did they make? And they're very insecure about this. They're very insecure about their external achievements, even if they don't always express it. An unbalanced Capricorn moon is overly focused on work. They are very rigid and they are emotionally distant. However, a healthy Capricorn moon is so deeply emotionally intelligent. They are committed. They are loyal, they are strong, wise, and deeply reliable. So let's talk about how to grow into your highest self as a Capricorn moon. Number one, understanding vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness, and not carrying everything alone. Number two, understanding that success isn't the only measure of worth. True fulfillment comes from emotional fulfillment as well. It's about deep connections, not just achievement. Number 3, allowing emotions to exist without control, without trying to solve them, without trying to put them in a box and hide them. Sometimes they just need to be felt, not managed. Number 4, balancing their drive for work with emotional presence, slowing down enough to spend time with the people they care about and experiencing love in this life, not just working, because that won't fulfill them. When they fully step into their power, they become this rock. They become the quiet leader. They don't just create success for themselves and provide for those around them, but they also create this long-lasting emotional security for themselves and the people they care about. They learn that true strength isn't just about standing alone and doing everything by themselves. It's about being in connection with others, allowing themselves to be heard, seen, and supported as well. You guys have this amazing, quiet, unshakable power you are here to build, to create something long-lasting. Let me know if this resonated, my Capricorn moons. I love you so, so much. Comment your experience, and if you want to go further, book a reading with me if you so feel called, and I will see you in the next video. We are going to move on to Aquarius moons. Some people feel their emotions very deeply. However, an Aquarius moon, one of the hardest moon placements in astrology, but also one of the most powerful once it's mastered, which we'll get into, these people analyze their emotions. They question them and they try and understand, what is this, from a distance. If you have this placement, your emotions aren't wild and chaotic. They are observed, studied, and often an arm's distance away from you. Aquarius is the sign of innovation, the future, technology, rebellion. So when the moon is here, it creates someone highly independent, highly intelligent, emotionally unpredictable, and always looking at life through a very unique perspective. You don't just feel, you intellectualize, you detach, and you see the bigger picture. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, the planet of change, sudden thinking, and genius thinking. Planet of sudden change, rebellion, and when the moon, the keeper of the emotions, is put here in Aquarius, your emotions become something to be studied, not something to be fully immersed in. You guys don't rely on other people for emotional validation. You find your own way home. You find your own way in your own time. You are not emotionally dependent. You guys are highly rational. You see emotions as a puzzle to try and solve, rather than something to feel and immerse in. These people are also very idealistic and future focused. Their emotions are usually tied to bigger ideas and innovation, tied to visions for the future, not just personal feelings. And they can be very unpredictable with their emotions, one day being completely detached, one day being fully immersed, so passionate towards a cause that is deeply meaningful. If you have an Aquarius moon, your emotions are abstract, they are unconventional, and your emotions are often about humanity rather than your own experience. You don't get lost in your emotions. You usually try and study them or avoid them altogether. You need someone who is free-spirited. You need someone who is intellectually stimulating, who is deeply loyal. A clingy partner will make you run in the opposite direction. You need someone who values independence and has their own stuff going on. You crave deep intellectual connection. You want someone who's intelligent, who you can have these thought-provoking conversations with, these innovative talks about the future, big picture thinking, because you can connect to people through ideas and through stimulating conversations. They don't express love in traditional ways. Instead of saying, I love you, they might challenge you. Aquarius moons might support your dreams. They might open you to bigger ways of thinking. They might give you ideas for your next venture. And they value friendship, usually more than love. Friendship comes first. If they're going to be in partnership with you, you need to be a best friend before you are a lover. And you need to respect their space for freedom and don't put them in a box. They need to have this individual expression. But here's the thing. Sometimes Aquarius moons can intellectualize love instead of feeling love. They might analyze so much they never allow themselves to experience. When they get too caught up in their thoughts, they miss out on the beautiful human experience of feeling, and they miss out on deep emotional connection. So here is the shadow side for them to work on. Every moon has a shadow side that once we're aware of it, we give it love and we evolve from it, we can step into the power of that moon sign. So Aquarius moons can be emotionally distant. Even when they care so deeply, they can detach. They want to use logic. They want to analyze. They prefer mental connection over emotional depth, so this can make it hard to connect with people. They struggle with deep intimacy and they have this sense of unpredictability in their relationships. One day they are fully engaged in you. The next they are chasing the next big idea, and it can leave their partner feeling like there's inconsistency and feeling confused. These people can also suppress their own true emotions and feelings and opinions for the good of a greater cause. It can also be at the cost of their own romantic relationships that they go and pursue that humanitarian cause, that they go and fight for what they believe in, that they go help and volunteer to take care of others and the community rather than taking care of the people they care about. An unbalanced Aquarius moon is lost in their own mind, emotionally distant, and unable to connect. But a healthy Aquarius moon is a visionary. They are open-minded, they are deeply compassionate, and in their own way, they bring new ideas and views into love relationships and help other people people see things in a bigger light. So how does an Aquarius moon evolve and tap into their power? Number one, learning to be present in emotions instead of always rationalizing them, letting themselves feel and be in the present moment. Number two, embracing vulnerability. They don't have to be this detached observer all the time. Real connection requires real emotional risk. Number three, balancing independence with emotional stability. The truth is, in order to reach all of these big goals, they do need support from other people. Real strength comes from allowing people to see you and support you along the way. It's not a weakness to need help. When Aquarius moons fully step into their power, they become these great emotional innovators, the ones who bring fresh ideas, a new perspective, a deeper sense of emotions to the world, a deeper sense of wisdom. Their lesson is that emotional intelligence isn't about having distance from your emotions. It's about embracing them and understanding the full spectrum of the human experience. If you have an Aquarius moon, your emotions are visionary, they are unique. You are meant to challenge the norm and create new ways of connecting with the world. I love you so much. Let me know if this resonated and tell me your experience as an Aquarius moon. If you want to go deeper into your chart, you can book a chart reading with me. I'll have that linked below too. But let's get into Pisces moons. Some people feel emotions, but a Pisces moon, you become your emotions. Your emotions don't just exist inside you, they merge with you, they dissolve into you, and they intertwine in the world around you because you don't just feel for yourself, you feel for everybody. Pisces is the sign of boundlessness, creativity, spirituality. When the moon is in Pisces, it becomes deeply intuitive, fluid, and profoundly sensitive to the unseen realms in life. But what happens when emotions feel overwhelming? When boundaries blur between your own feelings and the feelings of those around you? That is the journey of the Pisces moon, learning that compassion doesn't mean losing yourself. The true love starts with self-love. Pisces is ruled by Neptune, the planet of dreams, of illusion, of spirituality. Your emotions are connected to the vast ocean, the unconscious. Your emotions are connected to the collective. You feel everyone around you. You're so intuitive, probably the most intuitive moon sign. You absorb these emotions like a sponge, feeling what others feel before they even experience their own emotions. And emotions are like an ebb and flow for you. It's like an ocean. Sometimes it's going to have this huge storm. Sometimes it's going to feel like a low, a high. It's just always floating, like constantly your emotions are shifting and changing. You guys are natural healers, whether it's through art, spirituality, creativity, kindness. Pisces moons are natural healers everywhere they go. You guys believe in deep love. You believe in soulmates. You believe in the romance of life. You believe in spiritual connections that transcend the mundane. These are the idealists of the zodiac, the dreamers. Your dreams are so deeply intuitive. In love, you guys are devoted, you guys are dreamy, and you are deeply compassionate. You can love people in a way they've never been loved before because Pisces can tap into unconditional love. They can tap into pure love and heart-centered energy. But you need a safe place where you feel fully seen and protected. A relationship without depth, without romance, without a soul connection, without soulful intimacy will feel empty for you. It'll feel unfulfilling. You need emotional connection above all else. And you will give everything to your partner, often putting your partner's needs above your own. You need someone who understands your sensitivity, harshness, too much criticism, that can deeply impact you and affect you. Coldness is like a knife to your heart. You need kindness, gentleness, and emotional understanding and patience from your partner. Pisces can merge too deeply with their partner and they can lose themselves in the process. They can go past their own boundaries. So in this lifetime, it is about understanding their emotional boundaries and taking enough time to themselves to recharge. But here is the secret. Pisces moons can fall in love with an idealistic potential that the partner in front of them has and not fully see who the person is. Falling in love with the beauty of what they see, and sometimes ignoring the red flags, sacrificing themselves too much. When they do this, they risk getting lost in the illusion, the fantasy, and unreciprocated love. Every moon sign has its challenges, so here are some things for the Pisces moon to overcome so they can fully step into their true power. Because they're so deeply empathetic, this makes them prone to energy vampires and being taken advantage of more than any other sign. When things get too harsh, when reality becomes too real and painful, they will try and escape. They can escape with drugs, they can escape with movies, TV shows, food, retreating into books, anything to kind of hide away from the pain of life. They also struggle with saying no. Because of their compassionate nature, they don't want to displease the other person. They want to please you because when you feel good, they feel good. They can also feel lost in victimhood. Depending on what goes on for them, they can feel like they don't have control in the situation and everything is happening to them and they get bogged down in this idea. Feeling powerless, not realizing their own strength. An unhealthy Pisces moon becomes lost in disillusionment. They become prone to escapism, drained, struggling with separating their emotions. However, a healthy Pisces moon, they are capable of bringing deep healing and profound wisdom to this world and loving people in a way they've never been loved. So how does a Pisces moon evolve? Number one, learning how to be compassionate without taking on everyone's pain, setting strong emotional boundaries so they can protect themselves while still helping and healing others. Number two, grounding themselves in reality, grounding their emotions in reality. Instead of escaping, they can learn to navigate the world, navigate their emotions in real life scenarios in a way that feels practical, that feels comfortable. They can learn to do it with strength and clarity rather than getting scared. Another thing is learning to honor their own needs. It's beautiful that they can help so many people, but they must nurture themselves first and honor what their body is telling them, what their intuition is telling them, and taking time alone before they step out and help other people. They need to be in relationships that aren't just one-sided but are reciprocal, that their friends and partners give back to them and help them feel fulfilled too. And last thing is embracing spiritual growth without getting lost in it. So they are natural mystics, healers, intuitives, and their greatest power is when they explore all of this stuff but still stay grounded in their own identity. When you guys step into your power, you become the dreamers who turn your visions and ideas into reality. You can dream bigger than anyone else, and you can turn those dreams into something on the practical level that comes true. You become the great healers, the great intuitives, mystics, and you become the people who remind the world that art and compassion are the greatest gifts we have. You learn that love isn't about losing yourself, but sharing your gifts with the person you care about. If you are a Pisces moon, you are deeply connected to the universe. You are magic, you are creative, you are a gift. You have a healing presence. Just by being there alone, you heal people. Remember to protect and take care of your energy. If you've enjoyed this deep dive into every single moon sign, please let me know. Please like and subscribe for more content like this. It lets me know that you're enjoying this. It lets me know what to give to you and what not. If you guys want to learn more about who you are, learn more about your astrology, your life purpose, I do offer readings as well, and you can book one with me in the link below. I'm most active on Instagram and TikTok. I love you so much, and I will see you in the next video.